child with special needs requires a lot of dedication and sacrifice to ensure that the child gets the required attention depending on the condition they're in. But not all families are fortunate enough to have either the time or the money needed to provide proper care, nor do they have a support system to fall back on. That's why a 12-year-old boy in Nakuru County spends his days restrained to a bed as his mother goes out in search of sustenance. Ruth Sarmwe calls attention to their plight.
In Kaptembo area on the outskirts of Nakuru town, we meet Faith Chelangat, mother to a 12-year-old boy who has been suffering from cerebral palsy for 7 years now. The last time she was in hospital to follow up on the condition of her son was 7 years ago when he was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Saiti simpeleki kwa daktari, niliacha tu. Sasa wakati niliona juu nilisunguka kwa kienyeji kama madaktari 26, hakuna mwenye alifaulu. Kila mtu alikuwa anasema ugonjwa wake, akimpea dawa yenye anapea, lakini sikuona mabadiliko yoyote.
Faith says she registered with the area chief with the hope of receiving support, but to date, nothing has come her way. So, in order to support themselves, she is forced to leave the boy by himself in the house to work menial jobs, something she says is risky, but life has pushed her to the wall.
Hata wakati mwingine napata ako mgonjwa juu saa zingine anajirusha rusha. Sasa nampata hata ametapika. Sasa inabidi nimfanyie kila kitu juu anafanya kila kitu kwa kitanda. Lakini hayo yote niliyakubali. Nilimwambia Mungu, kama ulinipa Maxwell, uponye. Kama ni wako, umchukue. Sasa Mungu tu labda ameona huenda kuna mazuri hapo mbele.
Despite the availability of facilities that cater for the welfare of such children, most families from humble backgrounds are unable to meet the costs of sustaining the medication.
Sometimes they become very tricky. You have this conversion, the mother cannot afford the drugs, and the drugs you think is cheap that they can afford may not be able to control the convulsions. And the more they get the convulsion, the more already the brain that is already damaged worsens.
More accessible options are therefore desperately needed to guarantee their right to health care.
Occupational therapists are there, physiotherapists are there, speech therapy we don't have in Nakuru. So most of a few occupational therapy do it. So most of the time we don't have locally that we, especially for the poor patient who can't afford. Unless you use occupational therapies we have in PGH.
Nakuru County has a population of approximately 17,000 people living with disability. But according to the county's disability office, the number is estimated to be higher as many parents in rural areas are yet to register with the disability database. Ruth Sarmwe, NTV, Nakuru.